Hello friends, and welcome to the start of a new corncob pipe modification series. And what we're going to be doing in this series is we're going to be doing a corncob modification for Benjamin Mitchell, who was the first prize winner in my 200 sub giveaway contest. And it's been quite a while since that contest, but I just now am able to begin working on Ben's pipe. So I really appreciate Ben's patience over the past few months, and I look forward to trying to make him a pipe that he will believe is worth the wait. So the way this contest was set up was that the winner would work collaboratively with me to develop a corncob pipe modification. And the first step in that collaboration, of course, was to identify the type of pipe that the winner would want. So Ben pretty quickly knew what he wanted, and he gave me the challenge of taking a corncob pipe and transforming it into a Brandy. Now, for those of you that don't know, this is the Brandy shape. I apologize, my printer is in need of a toner reboost, so the coloring here is a bit off, but you'll get it's good enough for the points that I want to make, and I will insert this picture somewhere in the video so you can actually see the pipe. It's a very nice pipe. It's a Dunhill Brandy. So the characteristic of the Brandy is this Brandy glass shaped stummel, and you can see it has a rounded bottom, and that's going to be one of the challenges here is to really make that bottom rounded, and it narrows down quite a bit to a relatively narrow top. And one of the other challenges we're going to face, in addition to getting this bottom round like this, is getting this top thin enough to be reminiscent of the Brandy without becoming so thin that it's brittle, because the corncob is going to become brittle if we make it too thin. In addition to that, one of the real challenges here is going to be the junction between the shank and the cob bowl. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to really exactly mimic this shape. I mean, the only way to do that would be to sort of make a wooden base that wrapped all the way under and came up. And I think that that's probably gone a little bit too far for a cob modification. It's just sort of not keeping with the idea behind modifying cobs. It's sort of turning. I think that would be more like making a falcon pipe that has a cob bowl on it than actually doing a cob modification. So I'm not going to go that far. I am going to make a shank that fits flush with the bowl. Try to minimize the junction here as much as possible, but there will probably be a little bit of a dip here that we'll just have to try to blend in as best we can and make it look nice. And then once the shank is done, we will be putting a vulcanite stem on it. So this is the drawing that I'm going to be using, and the way I do this is I measure this, and sorry, I've got a little visitor here. I measure this and then use those measurements, scale those measurements to the cob that I'm working on, and try to basically mimic the overall proportions of this pipe. So the parts that we will be using in this are pretty simple. We're going to start with the cob, and I've chosen the Missouri Meerschaum Diplomat for this. I like the Diplomat for this because of the shape of the bowl. So it's already somewhat rounded on the bottom, and we can increase that rounding a bit. It has a hardwood plug, so we'll be able to bring that in quite a bit without worrying too much about damaging the integrity. And the bowl is already somewhat tapered towards the top, and we will enhance that tapering a bit further. We'll of course be removing the shank and the stem. They will be not be used in the pipe at all, and we'll be making a new shank. In this case, we'll be making it out of walnut, and walnut is just going to be a good match for the color. We're going to stain the bowl walnut as well. And we may put some fake grain lines in the bowl. I'm not sure yet. And Ben, if you're watching and you've got any thoughts on that, let me know. One of the really beautiful Brandies tend to be these straight grains that just run all the way around the bowl. And it would be nice to sort of have something reminiscent of that. But I don't want to take away too much from the fact that this is in fact a corn cob. So maybe we don't want to do that. We will stain it a dark walnut. We will have the walnut shank, which will match up with that nicely. And we're going to make the best junction we can here, so we're going to actually be carving the walnut to match the shape of the bowl. And we will then be carving the shank itself to taper down to a point where it will meet the stem. So overall, we're going to try to make a very smooth and elegant transition between the brandy bowl and the shank to make it look very much like a briar pipe would look, although we're not going to be able to exactly mimic the shape of the brandy without having that extend all the way on the underside. And then for the final part, we'll be making a vulcanite stem out of this vulcanite blank, and that will be fit to the new shank. I'm probably going to put a Delrin tenon, a Delrin mortise actually, into the walnut. The reason being is that I don't really know how various hardwoods are going to handle the repeated strain of putting the tenon in and out, and of moisture accumulation and all the things that a pipe goes through. We know briar handles it very well. I don't know how walnut will handle it. So putting in a little bit of Delrin just really enhances the longevity, or at least increases my confidence in the longevity. And it also provides a nice slick fitting for the vulcanite to sink into, so it makes removing the stem quite easy. So that's the main components. So step one, which will begin and you will see in a video update next week, will be to remove the stem and to shape the bowl into a brandy shape. So that'll be the first step. Step two will be to shape the shank and have it made up with the bowl. And then step three will be the stem itself. Excuse me. So I hope you find this an interesting proposition. I certainly find it a challenging proposition, and I'm really thankful to Ben for providing that challenge, because it's the kind of thing I like. And I will look forward to working on this and to bringing you updates as we move along. So if you would like to follow this and you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and click subscribe so that you'll know when the new videos post. I do hope to be posting them every Wednesday for the next few weeks until the project is done. If you have any comments on this, especially if you think that there's things that could be done differently, or if you have suggestions for a better way to do things, please let me know. I am going to be doing this project pretty much in real time, so your comments might be able to help me, and if I use them, I'll certainly give you full credit in the next video. So with that, I will say thank you very much for watching, and I hope you tune in for the next installment. Until then, I will look forward to talking to you again very soon. Goodbye now.